And I'd like to congratulate all the Hall of Fame recipients, all the drivers, racers that are going to be awarded here tonight. Everybody, you did a great job, and we really appreciate all of the hard work you put into this. Tonight, I'm privileged to introduce to you our newest Pittsburgh Circle Track Club Hall of Fame member, Sergeant Charlie Cragan. Well, it was a lot of fun watching you driving the race cars over the year, not only the dirt at the asphalt tracks and working with you, the chances that I had at Jennerstown and Motordrome. Congratulations on your inductee of the Hall of Fame.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Dow Carnahan, please come on up. This is a switch because all the years I've ever been with him, he was holding the microphone. You know, some of the most fun I had was when I was the on-track announcer, Lernerville and Pittsburgh. Some of our story.
Yeah, that was really good. Back when I started at Pittsburgh, you were the guy in the infield. Pittsburgh is so far away from where I'm at, up top from the infield, and we had a lot of good time. Most of what we said didn't make it over the air. A good thing, but really, it's like an awkward moment for me because I grew up. Yeah, I'll hold it. I'm used to holding it. I grew up going to the races, and I'm not an automotive person, and I really don't know what attracted me to racing, but I grew up in New Alexandria, and that was the hometown of Blackie Watt. Well, there's only 50 people in the town, so 2 of us are already in the Circle Track Club Hall of Fame, so that's pretty good. But
how about a nice hand, Dow Carnahan? Our trophy presenters, would you young ladies please come up? Yeah. Kind of interesting that he's probably going to be the only inductee where his mother and father are also in the Hall of Fame. He's in it, and I suspect his sons will be there someday in the future. He's been in racing since he was 6 years old. His first job was at the old Latrobe Speedway, where he would run the lineups up and down for his mother, who was up in the booth. Jack Freeman was on the flag stand, and that's how they communicated. We've come a long way since then. Best part of racing, he loves the winning, doesn't like to lose. Doesn't happen often, but he doesn't like it. Probably the most memorable moment in racing was when he won the Silver Cup, the Don Martin Memorial, on July 23rd, 2002. We're going to talk about that when he comes up. Ed Lynch Jr.
That was a memorable night. You know, it was one of those nights that many racers have where the car just is part of you, and you could run 100 laps on the deal, and it felt right. In a sprint car, you feel good about 10 laps out of the race. You're either beginning and you're like, oh boy, it's going to get ugly at the end, or you're really good at the end and you want to hurry up and get there. But that night the car was good all night long, and yes, I do realize that. You know, A.J. Foyt has said a long time ago, you're doing well when you got 50% of the people in the stands that hate you and 50% that love you. So you know you're doing well, but on a night that's a World of Outlaw night, it's very common to see an Ed Lynch Jr. shirt and the same group in the stands were not cheering you on a regular Friday night. But that's part of racing, that's part of success. And that's why we do it. We do it to win. We don't do it to go out there and just run in the mid-pack or at the end. And my father has put that into me, and my mother is always demanding of good finishes. And my sister has been along for the ride the whole time. Her boys have come along, and they really like it. Bobby and AJ, and I have Cy and Ed, and Eric there. Really keeps the car under me and keeps me from getting too hyper. You know, sometimes sprint car drivers are a little bit excitable. I don't know, but that's about it. That probably comes from my dad on that. But
you think?
I think. But you know, we've been a family sport. It's been family for us always. I think. You were shocked one time we did a TV deal out there at the race car garage, and you came out to the race car garage and you thought you were going to see like Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s garage or something like that, and it was just a pole building with some, you know, we just work on making things fast and not doing anything else. You work on what you have, and you make. My dad's always told me you make a, make a race car faster, you know, and if it feels good, put it in there, but you can't make a crash race car go faster.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ed Lynch Jr. Local tracks around the area, plus some of the special speedways. He was in Winchester, Langhorne. The list is too long to go over, but he raced probably at 25 or 30 different tracks. Special event, the 73 Motordrome 200, plus the 35, 50, and 100 lap features, and the Trenton qualifier. And his last comment was, "Color me gone, Bobby Marhefka."
Yeah, okay. Somebody started a nomination, and thank you, George, for this opportunity to get up here. But yeah, it's very special, and that's in my bio. One of the fears that I had was when my son took the wheel of the car. He never drove before, never drove on an oval track. And we fixed up the last late model Purple Bandit car we had. And he drove that. And let me tell you something, my heart was you know where. But he did good, and he's still doing good. We still enjoy the racing. I enjoy working on the car all these years. I don't know why. It's just, you know, it's in your blood. And no, it's not in my blood. It's a disease that gets you, you know. So we keep plugging away. But yeah, the experience with my son, fantastic.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Marhefka.
His driving career in the late 70s at the old Motordrome Speedway in Roughdale. And what prompted Ron to get into racing? Well, according to him, I liked the sound of Buddy O'Connor's six-cylinder GMC at Clare Ridge Speedway in the 1950s, and I got hooked. Even though he never won the Motordrome 200, Ron Piovesan finished second one year after being lapped 5 times. And for him to make up those 5 laps, he was put at the front of the field on the restarts, had to race to catch up to the field, run through the field to get to the front, and repeat that, 5 times, to get back on the lead lap and make a run through the field to second place finish. That's pretty impressive. Equally impressive, but not with the same results, was the night at Bedford Speedway, when Ron started dead last and passed some 27 cars in one lap, moved into the lead, nearly lapped the whole field until he got wrecked out of the race. Bad nights at the racetrack, but nonetheless memorable. Ron had some of those too. A night at Heidelberg, when the track was asphalt, was one of those as he headed into turn 1 at full steam at nearly 90 miles an hour, hit the wall full blast, collapsing the car 12 inches and sending the Eagles to his nest for a 3-day stay in the hospital. Over a 20-year racing career, the Eagle had many ventures and adventures, but always enjoyed the challenges and the wins, as well as his fellow competitors and fans. In Ron's own words, if racing had gotten tough, I would have quit. Tonight, with his daughter Renelle and his group in attendance, I'm honored to introduce to you the newest member of the Pittsburgh Circle Track Club Hall of Fame, the Eagle, Ron Piovesan.
Make it.
Do you ever get to the races anymore?
I went to a race in Jennerstown, the old timers race, a couple of years ago. Started last in the feature.
Now, you didn't lap the whole field or take on the whole field in one lap, now, did you?
Well, they give me a uniform with somebody, and they give me a car, and I says, well, do I get a chance to take this car out, at least, you know, get the feel of it? And they says, no. They says, it's like that. I says, you just take it out and run it now. And so basically, I started last. They put me last because I come in last, and so we had 10 laps to go, and I started last. And so when we first started out, I wanted to get the feel of the car, because before we went out, he says, now you see that car there? He said, now we want it to look like that when it comes back. And so I took the car out last, and when they started out, I more or less was maybe 50 feet behind everybody, because I wanted to get the feel of it. And then I was lucky that there was a wreck that put me back up into the back again, and I had at least one lap, and I got the feel of it, and so I had about 8 laps left, and I come in second because I passed somebody up every lap.
And like I said, pretty impressive.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That's what it was all about.
Congratulations on your induction into the Hall of Fame. Race fans, Ron Piovesan. Todd is 14 years old, drove the Duke of Oil, Bircha Construction, Scott Damer Motorsports, Weldon Automotive number 45 in the Young Guns division at Pittsburgh. He was a division champion at Pittsburgh as well as the Circle Track Club champion, collecting 4 feature wins, 16 top 5s, and 16 top 10 finishes. His most memorable racing moment was winning his first feature, and for 2012, he's going to be running the Young Gun division again. Won the Rookie of the Year in her first season, obviously, driving the 14 HER, or 14 Her, one for her, as my brother told me. She finished 6th in points at Pittsburgh's Pennsylvania Motor Speedway and 3rd in the Pittsburgh Circle Track Club points. Signs by Tomorrow, Robinson Pop and Beer, and All-Star Sports Bar are her sponsors. So the Rookie of the Year in the factory stocks, Hannah Ramsey.
That's unique, all young ladies.
Congratulations, Tyler. White. Tony drove the Lucci Kitchen and Bath Hercules engines and 100 radiator number 76 fast track late model to a 9th place points finish at Pittsburgh and 5th in the Pittsburgh Circle Track Club points. He had 2 top 10 finishes and was a graduate of the amateur stock division into the fast track late models. Most improved driver from Motordrome Speedway, street stock competitor, Jeff Zellweger. Jeff drove the Barrel Automotive, Jeff Zellweger Landscaping, Anderson Welding, Wagner Service, Sealing Specialist, ICS Race Engines number 18 at Motordrome Speedway. He finished 3rd in Pittsburgh Circle Track Club points.
Sportsmanship Award. The guidelines are youth involvement, family awareness, fan involvement, sponsor involvement, commitment to the club, and having a helping hand. And this year's award winner is our Vice President, Bobby Neal. Yeah, he's thanking his wife. Bobby's a big part of what we do here. He's recovering from some surgery or an illness, and we're glad he could be with us here tonight. You want to say something?
Like I said, I want to thank my wife. I was married in October, and thanks to everybody. What a surprise.
That covers it. Bill Steinbach Memorial Award. Bill was one of the most popular broadcasters in the area. He was at KDK for 37 years, a pioneer in reporting. At one time he was announcing at Heidelberg, South Park, Greater Pittsburgh, North Hills, and Lernerville. He did a column in the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. I got to be good friends with Bill over the years. Actually, how I got involved as one of the talking heads in racing one night at North Hills. We were running down there, having a little bit of success. We won the dash, the heat, and the feature. Pit crew was real happy. Bill approached me after it was over and said, "I can't be here next week. Would you sit in for me?" I said, "Bill, I never did this before." He said, "If you can sit in front of 30 juvenile delinquents in a classroom in school, you could sit behind a microphone." So Bill's the one that got me started. This year's winner of the Bill Steinbach Memorial Award is Lou Long. And I hope I'm not in trouble for saying it.
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm very surprised and very honored to receive this award. Bill Steinbach was a very accomplished announcer and media member, and there are many other accomplished media members in this room, including Walt and Don Gamble, and a lot of what I do in motorsports I owe to them and the path that they blazed. And I'm very appreciative. Thank you.
Person of the Year is Art was involved in racing from '67 when Schmucker Speedway opened. He was a scorer. He worked at various speedways, including Motordrome. He worked at Lernerville. He was pretty involved at all the tracks and became very involved at Pittsburgh's Pennsylvania Motor Speedway. He passed away 1 week after the 2001 Pittsburgh 100. But his involvement at the track helped make things happen. And tonight's winner is a gentleman that is not an employee at the track, but he really makes things happen. Jimmy Poljak. The unofficial PR person for Rapping on Racing.
Thank you so much, Don. I really appreciate this. I'm humbled and honored. Please believe me, ladies and gentlemen, I'm more behind the scenes. I'm not used to this, but our program, I'm really honored by this, but our program is, Mr. Frank Fuhr is the man behind our program that makes everything work for Yingling and Frank Fuhr Motorsports. You know, I'm sitting with Jack Rao and Lynn Geisler, and I told him tonight that they're together 30 plus years, and our program has been together 17 years. And I model our program behind theirs because the longevity really means something. And I want to thank Mr. Frank Fuhr and his sons David and Frankie and our brewery rep Todd Swicker, Ed Hallbrick, our branch manager, Don Gamble, and the entire family over there Rapping on Racing. Dave Dragovich and Beth and Billy, Bob, Dick Curry, Dave Wade, Linda Wade, Jason Ryder, our Team 76 racing program, and last but not least, my dear wife who puts up with my crap behind the scenes. I really mean that. She does. And we have a new program put together for the asphalt scene. Hopefully everything works out right. Adam Kostelnik is the car owner with Howie Bayes, and my nephew AJ Poljak's going to be driving the Yingling Light Logger car on the Motordrome Speedway this year.
All right.
And we're hoping we have a great relationship with them. So, Dawn, I can't thank you enough. And ladies and gentlemen, how about a round of applause for this guy right here? Please. He's awesome for our sport. I know he works tirelessly with energy. His wife, Dawn, I know puts up with a lot of crap all the too. Behind the scenes. Dawn, you're awesome. You're a great representative of the sport. It's been awesome to work with you in Rapping on Racing and Yingling being the official beer of your program. I'm proud, I'm honored. I wish everybody a healthy and happy 2012 season. Thank you.
Congratulations. Here, get his picture over here by the banner with the plaque. Guys, by being good guys for acting beyond the norm. These men have demonstrated a positive influence, act completely selfless, shown great community spirit or exceptional loyalty without expecting anything in return. We want to recognize Lynn Geisler for all sorts of good deeds and selfless acts in racing. So often a smile, a handshake, a pat on the back, or a thank you. Our Dave Burt Good Guy Award program was created to properly recognize someone who is truly considered to be a good guy. Lynn Geisler. We also share a family connection. His son Travis is married to my daughter, and we have two beautiful grandsons.
I agree with you. But again, it is an honor every time you get something like this, and it goes back a long time. I can remember probably the first award that I ever got, and it certainly wasn't for my driving. It was the Hagerstown Arch Fan Club, and it was a sportsmanship award. And to this day, Shirley Eversole, every time I see her, she just makes me think about how this all started. And I think everyone that's in this room, never thought about winning a race or doing anything. They went there to have a good time. And when you have a good time, you usually share it with your friends. And the people at the races have always just been my friends, and it's easy to be that kind of deal. I think probably, bringing this up, it makes you start thinking about things that you've done and how you've acted, and, being a representative of the dealership. And over the years, it's really been an opportunity for me to expand myself as a person and do things that get recognized. You can't do these things alone. My good friend Jack Crow took me on 31 years ago when I barely knew how to do anything, and I like to think now that I've grown as a person and a recipient of this kind of an award. And it really makes me feel proud to be part of this family that we all take credit for, and we're all part of it. I think probably the most memorable thing that I can remember doing in the sport was when Chuck Ward got hurt at Pennsylvania Motor Speedway. A lot of people probably don't know Chuck, but if you remember, it was a horrific accident, and through Cochran Pontiac and Lernerville Speedway and Don Martin and myself, we contributed money every time. I was fortunate enough to win a race, and won 21 races that year. It was a pretty nice deal for Chuck, and has always made me feel proud to be able to give back to someone that needed something, and just like to thank everybody. Real nice award.